Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your time. So when I'm looking at the market now, and I'm looking at the people in it, I see okay, the 1%. The idea that people talk about the 1%. What's it take to be the 1%? Like to be independently wealthy, um, able to do what you want. You have freedom, your time, enough money to do whatever you want. Okay, you can pay your bills and take care of stuff and get pretty rich in crypto, right? That's why I'm in it. But you can also kind of change the game where you're trying to get independently wealthy, perhaps that 1%. But it's not easily attained. Before we get into that, if you could like, subscribe if you haven't, that would be great. I'd appreciate that. The reason it's 1% is because 99% of people can't do it. And when I say can't, I don't mean they're not smart enough to do it, but there's something they're missing. Maybe they have a lot of pressure at home. They don't have time to focus. Whatever the reason that they don't do it, that they can't do it, I'm not biting words here. They can't do it, or they would have done it. Okay, so you have to look at a tool. You have to look at stuff. What would I do that could get me to that, if that's your thing? Like lately, I've been showing you staking protocols. Uh, why? Because the market has been down for so long that you have to adjust on the fly. What's hot now? What's actually hot? What's working? So I started doing that. Now there's the the old school investors like me. I was the old school investor. I wouldn't touch these kind of things that seem too good to be true. But the old school people look at me and like, come on, dog, you into that? You got to leave that stuff alone. Like that's not going to work. Listen, if you're going to do something, you have to look at all your options. And sometimes you have to, when everybody goes this way, this is the way to go. And you say, the, the hell's over there? That looks like a shiny diamond. You might have to go see if that's a shiny diamond. You have to risk it for the biscuit, man. Sometimes you have to make a move. And that's why I think part of that being in that 1%, and I don't say that as that that's a goal, because the people who are 1%ers now are something I look up to. It's being that good at doing what you're doing that you achieve that. You don't have to be like them, but you have to have certain things that they have. And I'm starting to see that the more I look at this, the more I change how I look at stuff. I think you need to have book smarts, of course. You have to know how to see things and read the room, meaning the charts or anything, whatever your industry is. I think you got to have some luck too, because you can be the smartest guy in the world and not hit, and that happens to a lot of people. I know some super smart people. They're not independently wealthy, you know. But I think one thing that you do have to have is patience and 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 the ability to deal with being alone, because you're going to make decisions that sound horrible to people, and only you have to trust yourself and say, hey, I just feel like this is going to work, man. It's not working if I go with them because none of them have made it. Why am I going to follow them just to kind of get by? So you got to make other choices. That's why I started the staking packages. It even makes me laugh when I look at them. However, while I'm laughing, I'm looking at my returns every day. They're going up every day. And you have to be able to do some of these things if you want to achieve these goals. And even my mom told me if you want to get something you never had before, you got to do something you never did before. You can find quotes, inspirational quotes all day on crypto. You got to buy when people are scared, and you got to sell when people are happy. Basically, you do the opposite as a good investor. When the price is rocketing up, you sell and get out of that. Let them people go ahead and get the extra bit of change. But when that knife falls, a lot of them are going to miss it. They're going to go right back down with it. And when it's low and all the fear is in the market, that's when you swoop in and buy, because that's the bottom. And let that thing ride up. Like so many rich people that I've talked to that discuss the inner workings of how they do it. The biggest ones, they don't sell anything. They do not. They don't hold it for a year and see what happens. They don't sell stuff. They also don't buy stuff unless they've done their research and they really trust it. Possibly even have enough money to float it if it goes bad. But they don't sell things. They accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. And then they take loans and they take leverage off of the stuff that they have without ever giving up the thing that they have. And I heard somebody say, a market, stock market, crypto market, it's a mechanism to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. That's heavy. That's heavy. That goes with don't ever sell. That's exactly what that is. When you're in crypto, whether you're in NFTs, you're in crypto, whether you're doing these DeFi staking platforms, these ROI things, anything, you have to be careful of the doubters, the people who are just out to bash everything you do. It's funny. It gets funny. It's frustrating in the beginning. Then it gets funny when you make the money and they're still sitting there, arr, 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 and they're still barking away at you. And you're like, but it works. I already got the money. What are you mad about? Like, maybe if something happens later, who knows? But people get mad when you're making money. They get mad that you're trying things. They're getting mad that you're bold enough to do something that they're not. They look at one thing and say, I think this is that because I've seen these things, and they were all that. And this kind of looks like that, so I'm saying that that's that. Before I even actually look at this. That happens all the time. Now, the funny part is sometimes it'll be right. Sometimes they were right to judge it. But you, as the person trying to make yourself independently wealthy, can't worry about what they say. You knew that those other things are bad too, but this one stuck out to you. Something was different because you researched it, you read it, you read the white paper, you learned about it, and then you said, nah, I'm going to get in. That's what you have to do to get there, man. And I'm not saying it from being there. I'm saying it from getting there myself. I'm working to do that. And it's a lonely road, but that's what we're cut out for. That's why we're in this game. We're early before a lot of people catch on to something. And there's going to be a point 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, 10 years down the road, where people are going to be like, hey, man, I just got in this crypto. I just got into NFTs. Are you in it? Or are you still in that? Like they'll say, are you still in that? Like this was something seasonal. Like, yes, I'm still in it. I don't need to do anything else. Like I made it. Like I'm not even just, like I made it. So that's what we're looking at. That's what I'm looking at. That's the type of thing I think about. When you get a chance to stop because the market is down and it's been down for a while, and you look at other things and you're trying to figure out, what am I doing? So to me, that's what I'm doing. I'm interested to know what you're doing. Like, what kind of things do you think about that hold you through this? Like, what when the market comes down and then does this and stays down, or maybe even goes more, but it stays low, like it doesn't pop back up. That has to send you somewhere. Like you have to walk away from the computer for a couple days. That's always great. And you come back and you're refreshed. Like, all right, let me see what I'm at. Wow, nothing's changed. And that happens. That's going to keep happening over and over. But what do you think about? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to know how you cope with this kind of thing. And what are your goals? What are your financial goals? Do you even care to be like at the 1% level of wealthy? You know, because it's really not that high in the U.S. 1%. The 1% of the 1%. You know, that's your Bezos and your Elons and all that. But you can be in the 1%er here. It's not really that much. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I hope it didn't bore you. I hope there's something entertaining in it. But I am actually interested in what you're doing to deal with it. Or have you even thought about that thing? Is that even a goal of yours to make that kind of money? Or are you just trying to get out of your job and be able to free up yourself? Like earn enough to earn your freedom back to be able to do what you want to do. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I appreciate you coming by. As normal, I'd love if you can look at other stuff of mine. Helps YouTube say, hey, maybe there's something that people want to hear that a guy like me got to say. If you do. And if you don't, let me know that in the comments too. Hit a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to any conversation we can have there. All right, take care of yourself, guys, and I hope you make some money out there. I'll see you.